Hey team, welcome to this 30-day video challenge where I'm going to release 30 games in 30 days. These games are games that you can play with your team at any time. Some of them include skills, some of them include conditioning, and honestly, some of them are just tag games that you can play with your team. So make sure you tune in every single day this month where I'm going to release a new video with a brand new game. And before we get started, I'm Coach Hart, this is Building Better Baseball, and this is the best place for baseball education. So let's get into this 30-day video challenge. I'm super excited to bring you these games. Let's get started. Hey team, welcome to day 7 of this 30-day video challenge, and today's game is called Jailbreak. And if you like the game of Capture the Flag, then this is a perfect game for you because it's nearly the same thing. It is a little different though, all right? So as far as ages go, I would go with the older groups. This is a more in-depth game. It has a lot of running. It has a lot of kind of strategy to it. So I would go for the older groups. I would say maybe 9 and above, 10 and above. The younger grades, like 4 or 5 years old, they won't be able to get this game. So this is definitely an older kid game, all right? Now, how this game works, there's a lot to it. You're going to play in the outfield. So the equipment that you will need is 2 different types of balls, right? So wiffle balls and baseballs, you could have like little wiffle balls and big wiffle balls, some sort of distinction between the 2 types of equipment. It has to be something that is easily grabbed and easy to run with. Like it can't be a bat and it can't be like a big glove. I mean, that's kind of heavy to run with. So I would choose baseballs and wiffle balls. Those are probably the best options, but choose whatever you would like. Now, each team, let's say each team starts with a certain number of their piece of equipment, right? So let's say you do baseballs and there are 5 baseballs in this zone, right? And then you have wiffle balls over here. There's 5 in here. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Now, the 2 ways that you can play this game are there's team 1 over here on this side and team 2 on this side. This is team 2's equipment stash or flag area, whatever you want to call it. And then this is team 1's equipment stash, all right? They're trying to protect that from the other team. The goal of the game is exactly like Capture the Flag, where this team, let's say team 1 travels all the way over here through the area, through the opponent's territory, I guess, and they get into this zone. Once they get into the team 2 zone or the opposite team's zone, they can't be tagged. So team 2, if team 2 is right here and there's a team 1 person in their zone, they cannot go in there and tag them. They have to wait outside in order for them to leave and try and get back to their side. The whole purpose of the game is you steal the other team's equipment and you have to run it all the way back to your side. And if you make it successfully without getting tagged, then you take it to your side and you put it inside your equipment stash. And the 2 ways that you can play is you can have just a straight steal where team 1 has to steal all of team 2's wiffle balls and team 2 has to steal all of team 1's baseballs. That's an easy way to do it where you just get the other team's equipment, and once you have all of the other team's equipment, then that's the game over. If you wanted to make the game a little bit longer and have like a little bit more running, if you're really trying to focus on conditioning with this one, you could say that your team has to have all of the equipment. So let's say that there's 5 baseballs here and 5 wiffle balls here. In order for team 1 to win, they would need all 5 of their baseballs that are theirs, and they would need all 5 of the wiffle balls from team 2. So they would need a total of all 10 balls in order to win the game. All right, so those are the 2 ways that you can play it. The second way is if you have all of them, that takes a little bit longer and that's a lot more running. Or the first way is you can just steal all 5 of the wiffle balls, and if team 1 gets all the wiffle balls, then they win the game, right? Either way, whichever one you want to do. Now, a few rules. Let me do some erasing and we'll go over some rules. All right, so some rules. If a player enters the opponent's territory, so let's say that this player goes here and they get into this territory, and then this player goes here and they tag that player, right? That player would then go to the opponent's jail. So if you see, there's a jail set up, okay? So this is team 1's jail. This right here, this area right here, that is team 1's jail. This right here is team 2's jail. So it's on the opposite side. So team 2 is here, this is their jail. Team 1 is here, this is their jail. It's very similar to Capture the Flag, right? If you get into jail, then one of your teammates has to free you from jail. So if this person gets tagged here, let's say that this person is now gone and now there's only 2 people, right? So one of these people, this person is here in jail, right? This person would now have to run all the way here to try and free that teammate from jail, right? And once they get freed from jail, they have a free walk back. So this person here is allowed a free walk back. So they can walk back to their side without getting tagged, all right? If you put your hands on your head, if you say you put your hands on your head and walk back, that's an easy distinction of you can't tag me, I'm getting a free walk back. Now, there's a couple rules. You could allow this player who freed that player to have a free walk back as well. Or if you wanted to, you could just say, if you get someone out of jail, only the person who was in jail gets a free walk back and you don't get a free walk back. Whoever gets a free walk back, if you get freed from jail, you have to go to your side before you go back and try and steal the wiffle balls on Team 2's side. So if this person here gets freed, they cannot go straight from jail to their safe zone and try and steal the balls. They have to go all the way here and then try and go back and steal the wiffle balls. So they have to go establish themselves in their territory, in their own territory, and then they can go try and steal the balls. So let me do some erasing and then we'll get into the last rule. Okay, so there's also one other rule for jail. If you want to make it easier for people to get freed from jail, let's say you have 3 people in jail, you could allow them to make a chain like this, where they hold hands and then only the back person needs to be in jail, and then they have a chain of people extending to their side here, which makes it easier to free the people from jail because it's a shorter run, right? On top of that, if you have a chain, you could say that whoever gets tagged in the front is the only person who gets freed. Or if you really want to spice up the game and make them run longer and make the game go longer, you could say everyone from jail is freed if they have a chain going, right? So those are the couple options that you can do. I've never really done that. I think that people should stay in jail and do one at a time. That's how I've always played, but you can do what you like. The last thing is throwing, okay? So let's say that team 1 goes all the way here, they get a ball, right? And they are on their way back right here, and there's a tagger right here about to tag them, all right? Now, in order to throw the ball, you are allowed to throw the ball. However, your teammate has to be in the opponent's territory here. You are not allowed to throw the ball over the line, over the midline into your territory. The reason is because you could technically have a really good thrower and they could just be stepping into the safe zone, stepping out and launching it over to their side over here. And this team has nothing that they can do because they can't go into their territory, right? So that's not really fair. In order to throw the ball, you have to throw it to one of your teammates that is in the opponent's territory. And it has to be walked or ran across the line into your territory. So basically, the person who is being thrown to, they have to have the option of being tagged. They have to have the chance of being tagged, all right? Also, you could also say, make it a little harder by saying that if you throw the ball to a teammate and they drop it or the ball drops, you have to return the ball to the safe zone. If you don't want to do that because you think it's a little more tough, then you can say if you drop the ball, you just pick it up, and as long as you don't get tagged, you can go into your territory. It's whatever you would like to do, but I usually play that it has to be a clean throw. You have to have an in-the-air throw, a catch made, and then once they catch it, they can run it across the line. They cannot throw it across the line, though. So some big takeaways from Jailbreak is 2 teams in the outfield. The team's jail is on the opposite side. So team 1 would be over here. Their jail would be here. Team 2 would be on this side. Team 2 jail would be over here. Each team has a safe zone full of equipment. preferably different equipment so you can distinguish between the two. Your goal as a team, very similar to capture the flag, is running into the opponent's territory and grabbing a piece of equipment and running it back to your side. If you get all of the other team's equipment, then you win the game. You could also make it a little bit harder by saying you need all equipment. So let's say that team 1 gets all of team 2's wiffle balls, but then team 2 has 2 of team 1's baseballs. Team 1 would have to get those 2 baseballs back in order to win the game. So those are the 2 ways that you can play. As far as the jail goes, you cannot go from jail to the safe zone. You have to go from jail and get a free walk back to your side, and then you can try and go steal. So you can't go straight from jail to the safe zone. If you do a free walk back for the people who free the people from jail, I would say that they get a free walk back and they have to establish themselves the same way. If you do not allow the free walk back and you only allow the free walk back for the jail people, then that person can technically come over here, tag one of these players here, and then make their way to try and steal a wiffle ball from team 2. So that's an option that you can do as well. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed this game. If you have any questions, please comment in the description below, in the comments below. I know it was a lot of details and it was kind of a more in-depth game. That's why I said in the beginning, for the ages, I would say above 9, 10 years old and above would be really good for this game. It's great for conditioning. It's a lot of running. It takes teamwork and team cooperation. So there's a lot of things that it works on here. So this game is called Jailbreak. This is day number 7 of the 30-day video challenge. I'm so happy you tuned in. Please tune in tomorrow for day 8, where I have a brand new game for you. I'll see you tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed today's game, and I hope I explained it in a way that you understand and that you can explain it to your team so you can incorporate it into your practices. This is just another game that you can add to your practice plans to have some fun during your practices with your youth baseball team. Before you go, don't forget to grab your free 2-hour practice plan. I made it just for you to help you out in your practice plans. And in the description below, you'll also see a free baseball equipment sizing guide. There's how to get more playing time. There's how to do batting practice. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I made for you for free. Be sure to grab it before you go. It's all down in the description. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember, this is Building Better Baseball. I'm Coach Hart, and I'll see you next time.